The envelope came on a Thursday. I heard Chokudi scream from the bedroom, a happy scream. The kind that makes you drop everything and run. Nkem, it came. My permanent residence card came. I ran upstairs, heart pounding with joy. We've been waiting 18 months for this, 18 months of uncertainty, of immigration interviews, of holding our breath every time the mailbox rattled. He was standing there, holding the card like it was made of gold. His hands were shaking, tears streaming down his face. "We did it, baby," he whispered. "We finally did it." I wrapped my arms around him. We cried together. We thanked God together. We dreamed out loud about our future together. That was Thursday, March 6th, 2025. By Monday, March 10th, he was a different man. By Friday, March 14th, I didn't recognize him at all. By the end of the month, I understood. The man I married never existed. He was a performance. And the moment he got his papers, the show was over. My name is Ngozi, and before you ask, yes, I should have seen it coming. But here's what they don't tell you about love. It makes you blind to the things you don't want to see. I met Chokudi in Lagos in 2019. I was visiting family for Christmas. I've been living in Toronto since I was 12. Born there to Nigerian parents who'd immigrated in the 90s. I was 31, single, working as a pharmacy technician at a Shoppers Drug Mart in Scarborough. Chokudi was 34, an accountant working for a small firm in Victoria Island, handsome, well-spoken, ambitious church boy. The kind of man my mother had been praying I'd find. We met at a wedding. He asked me to dance. We talked for hours at the reception, sitting at a table long after everyone else had gone home, sharing jollof rice and dreams. "What's Canada like?" he asked. "Cold," I laughed, "but full of opportunities. You do well there. Maybe one day," he said, smiling, "if God wills it." I went back to Toronto in January 2020. We stayed in touch on WhatsApp video calls every weekend, voice notes every morning. He sent me scriptures, I sent him Tim Hortons gift cards. Pointless since he was in Lagos, but it made us laugh. By March 2020, we were in love. By December 2020, we were engaged. By June 2021, we were married. A beautiful traditional ceremony in Lagos, then a court wedding so I could begin sponsoring him. My parents were skeptical. "You barely know this man," my mother said. "You spent what, 3 weeks total in person?" "Mama, we talk every day. I know him better than couples who live together and don't communicate." She shook her head. "Just be careful. Ngozi men can be very good actors when they want something." I brushed it off. Mama was old-fashioned, suspicious of everyone. She didn't understand modern love. I wish I'd listened. The sponsorship process took 18 months. 18 months of video calls, of time misuse, of planning our life together in Toronto. Chokudi was perfect during this time. He'd wake up early, 5 a.m. Lagos time, just to pray with me before I went to work in Toronto. He'd send me Bible verses throughout the day. He'd video call me on his lunch break at the accounting firm just to see my face. "How was work, my love?" "Stressful. How about you?" "Doesn't matter. Seeing you makes everything better." He was attentive, romantic, thoughtful. When my grandmother died in February 2023, he stayed on the phone with me for 6 hours straight while I cried. He prayed over me. He reminded me that she was with God now. He made me feel less alone, even though we were oceans apart. When I got promoted at Shoppers Drug Mart to a senior technician role, he celebrated like it was his own achievement. "That's my wife. I'm so proud of you and Kem. When I get there, we're going to build an empire together." I believed him. I believed every word. March 2025, after 18 months of waiting, his application was approved. I picked him up from Pearson Airport on a cold Tuesday afternoon. He stepped through those arrivals doors wearing a thick Canada Goose jacket I'd sent him, pulling 2 suitcases, grinning ear to ear. We hugged for 5 full minutes in the middle of the terminal. People walked around us, we didn't care. I drove him to our apartment in Scarborough. A 2-bedroom I'd been renting alone, but had set up for us. His clothes in the closet, Nigerian movies downloaded on Netflix, a goosey soup in the fridge that I'd spent Sunday making. "This is home," I said, unlocking the door. He walked in slowly, taking it all in. Then he turned to me, eyes wet. "Thank you," he whispered. "Thank you for fighting for us, for believing in us. I'm gonna make you so proud, and Cam, I promise." That first week was bliss. We went to Yorkdale Mall, and I bought him into Pizza at the Bay. We ate shawarma at the Paramount Fine Foods. We went to my parents' house in Brampton for Sunday dinner, and he charmed them completely, helping my dad shovel snow. Complimenting my mom's cooking, playing with my nephews. "He's a good man," my father said as we left. "You chose well." I glowed. Week 2, he started settling in. I helped him apply for his SIN number. We opened a joint TD bank account. I added him to my Rogers mobile plan. I bought him a used Honda Civic from a guy on Kijiji so he could start driving and looking for work. He was grateful, loving, present. "I don't know what I did to deserve you," he'd say, kissing my forehead. Week 3, the permanent residence card arrived, and everything changed. Thursday, March 6th, the card arrived. We celebrated, made love, prayed, thanked God. Friday, he was quieter than usual. "You okay, baby?" I asked. "Yeah, just tired adjusting, you know." Saturday, he left the house early. "Where are you going?" "Just driving around, getting to know the city. I'll be back." He came back 8 hours later. Sunday, he didn't want to go to church. "I'm exhausted." "Ain't Cam, you go, I'll rest." I went alone, first time since he'd arrived. Monday, I came home from work and he was in the bedroom on his laptop, door closed. "What are you doing?" "Updating my resume, looking for jobs." "Need help?" "No, I got it." He didn't look up. Tuesday, he started getting phone calls and Igbo hushed conversations. He'd leave the room when I walked in. "Who keeps calling?" "Just guys from back home, checking on me, nothing serious." Wednesday, he went out again, didn't say where, came back late, smelling like cologne I didn't buy him. "Where were you?" "Networking, met some Nigerian guys in Mississauga trying to find job leads." "Why didn't you tell me? I would have come." "You were working, didn't want to bother you." Thursday, exactly 1 week after the PR card arrived, he told me he needed space. "Space?" "Yeah, like, I need to figure out my own rhythm here. You've been taking care of everything. I need to stand on my own 2 feet, be a man." Chukudi, we're married. We do things together, that's the point. I know I need some independence, you understand, right? I didn't, but I said yes anyway. Week 2, after the PR card, he stopped sleeping in our bed. "I'm going to sleep in the spare room, I've been snoring, and I don't want to keep you up." He hadn't been snoring. He stopped eating my cooking. "I'm not hungry, but I made your favorite." I said I'm not hungry, Ngozi. He stopped calling me Ncam, started using my government name, cold distant. He stopped praying with me in the mornings. He stopped asking about my day. He stopped touching me one night. I tried to initiate intimacy. He pulled away. "I'm tired." "You've been tired for 2 weeks." "Because I'm stressed, Ngozi. I'm trying to find work, build a life. Can you just give me space?" I gave him space. I gave him patience. I gave him understanding. I gave him everything, and he gave me nothing. Week 3, he started going out every night. "Where are you going?" "Out." "Out where? Does it matter?" "Chakudi, you're my husband." "Yes, it matters. I'm gonna meet friends, Nigerians, networking, job hunting. Is that okay with you? Or do I need your permission for everything?" His tone was sharp, mean. I'd never heard him speak to me like that. He'd come home at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., sometimes not until morning. I text him on WhatsApp, blue check marks, no response. I'd call straight to voicemail. One night, I checked his Instagram. He posted a story from a lounge in downtown Toronto, bottle service girls in the background. When he came home, I confronted him. "You were at a club? So you told me you were networking." "I was people network at clubs in Ngozi. This is Toronto, not your church basement." "Why you been like this?" "Like what?" Like you don't even know me, like I'm bothering you, like you hate me. He looked at me for a long time. No warmth, no recognition. Maybe I just need time to adjust. You're smothering me, smothering. The word hit like a slap. I sponsored him, waited 18 months, prepared our home, supported him financially, loved him unconditionally, and he called it smothering. Week 4, I came home early from work. My manager had sent me home. I've been crying in the bathroom at Shoppers Drug Mart. Couldn't focus, kept making mistakes with prescriptions. I walked into the apartment at 2 p.m. Chukwudi was on the couch on his phone, laughing. He looked up, startled. Why are you home? I wasn't feeling well. Who are you talking to? Nobody. He put his phone face down too quickly. Chukwudi, what's going on? Nothing. You've been different since you got your PR card. You don't talk to me. You don't touch me. You're out every night. You treat me like I'm your landlord, not your wife. Maybe that's all you are now. Silence. What did you just say? He stood up, looked me dead in the eye. You heard me. Maybe I don't need you anymore, Ngozi. Maybe I got what I came for. My chest tightened. You came for me. You came because you love me. He laughed, actually laughed. I came for papers. Ngozi, you were just the fastest route. Everything unraveled in the next 10 minutes. He'd been planning this for years. The long-distance relationship, the perfect boyfriend act, the prayers, the scripture, the I love yous. All of it was strategy. You really thought I wanted to stay in Nigeria forever? He said, pacing the living room. Working for peanuts at that accounting firm, I needed a way out and you were it. But you loved me, I know you did. I loved what you could do for me. There's a difference. What about the 18 months, the video calls, the prayers? Acting. Ngozi, I'm good at it, and you? You made it so easy. So desperate to find a good Nigerian man, so eager to help I barely had to try. So everything was a lie. Not everything I do think you're a nice person. You're just not who I want. Then who do you want? He smirked, picked up his phone, showed me an Instagram DM thread with a woman named Chiden, my messages going back months. Flirting plans to meet up, pictures I couldn't unsee. She's in Brampton. We've been talking since before I even landed. We're meeting up this weekend. I couldn't breathe. Get out. This is my apartment too. I'm on the lease now, remember? Joint tenants, you added me yourself. He was right, I had. Then I'll leave. Good. I was hoping you'd say that. I moved out that night. Stayed at my parents' house in Brampton, told them everything. My mother cried, not because she was sad, because she'd warned me. Ngozi, I told you to be careful. My father was quiet, then he said, we're gonna fix this legally, financially. You're not losing everything because of this man. I hired a lawyer, filed for divorce, tried to prove fraud to Immigration Canada. But here's the thing about immigration fraud, it's almost impossible to prove if the marriage looked real on paper. And ours did. Video calls, joint bank account, lease agreement, photos, witness statements from our wedding. The immigration officer assigned to my case said we can investigate, but unless he admits the fraud or you have concrete evidence of premeditation, it's your word against his. I had no concrete evidence, just a broken heart and an empty apartment that still had his cologne in the air. Let me tell you what sponsoring Chukwudi cost financially. 1050 sponsorship application fee. IRCC 200 Air Canada flight Lagos to Toronto. 15,000 supporting him while he looked for work. Rent, food, his car, insurance. 500 lawyer fees for divorce proceedings. Total, my trust and love. My belief in prayer and discernment. My faith in Nigerian men. I hate that this is true, but it is. My relationship with my parents. They look at me with pity now. My mental health. I'm on antidepressants from my doctor at the Scarborough Health Network. Socially, The shame at church, the whispers at Nigerian events. That's the girl who got used for papers, friends who said, "I told you so." The loneliness of realizing I built my whole life around a man who never existed. Spiritually, I stopped praying for weeks, stopped going to church for months. Questioned if God was even listening when I asked him if Chukwudi was the one. All because I loved someone who was performing love. After I shared my story with a few people, I started hearing similar ones. A woman in Mississauga. "Girl, same thing happened to me. The moment his papers came through, he changed completely." A man in Brampton. "My cousin went through this, sponsored a girl from Nigeria, PR arrived. She moved to Vancouver the next month." A friend from church. "I know 3 people this happened to. 3. It's an epidemic." The pattern is always the same. One perfect during the wait, attentive, loving, grateful, praying, texting, calling, everything you could want. 2 PR card arrives, sudden shift, cold, distant, irritable, need space out all the time. To reveal, either they admit the truth or they just leave. New city, new life, new partner. The card isn't just legal status, it's the end of the performance. It's the moment they don't need you anymore. And if you weren't paying attention, it's the moment you realize you never really knew them at all. Chukwudi still lives in that Scarborough apartment. I'm paying half the rent until the lease ends, because legally I'm stuck. He works at an accounting firm in downtown Toronto now. He got the job 3 weeks after I moved out. Funny how quickly he found work once he didn't need to pretend anymore. I saw him on Instagram recently. Posted a photo with Chaidanma. God's timing is perfect. The same words he used to say to me. I blocked him. I'm 35 now, living with my parents, rebuilding. Therapy once a week, antidepressants every morning, slow, painful healing. I don't date, I don't trust, I don't dream about marriage anymore. When people ask why I'm single, I say, just focusing on myself. The truth, I gave my whole self to someone who was never really there. And I don't know how to give again. Now, let me warn you. If you're sponsoring someone from Nigeria or anywhere and you're in that waiting period, pay attention to this. These are the red flags after the PR card arrives. Suddenly, needs space or independence. Stops using terms of endearment. Can baby my love, etc. Goes out constantly without explanation. Stops being intimate. Gets defensive when you ask simple questions. Suddenly has new friends you've never met. Phone is always face down. Doesn't include you in plans anymore. Treats you like a roommate, not a partner. If you see these signs in the weeks after PR approval, trust your gut. It's not adjustment. It's not stress. It's not building independence. It's the mask coming off. The question I ask myself is, was any of it real? The prayers? The late night talks? The I can't wait to build a life with you? Or was I just a means to an end the entire time? I'll never know. And that's the part that hurts most. Not that he used me, but that I'll never know if there was ever a single moment, just one where he actually loved me. People say, love is blind, but I don't think that's true. Love isn't blind. Desperation is. Booki, I was desperate to be chosen, to be loved, to build the life my parents had. And Chukwudi saw that desperation and used it like a roadmap. The man I married never existed. He was a character, a role, a performance designed to get him what he needed. And the day his papers came through, the show was over, the theater went dark, and I was left sitting alone in the audience, wondering how I ever believed it was real. If you're reading this and you're waiting for your sponsored spouse to arrive, I'm not telling you to be paranoid, I'm telling you to be aware. Watch what happens after the PR card, because that's when you'll meet the real person. And sometimes that person is a stranger at a real talk, real growth, real love. Have you sponsored someone who changed after getting their papers? What were the signs you noticed? How did you recover? Please share the story with anyone who's sponsoring a partner. It could save them from the same heart.